everyone, and welcome to MIT Designeering Series, a weekly podcast where we feature leading professionals from the domains of design, technology, business, and innovation. We talk to them about their experience, views on the latest industry trends, designeering, and a lot more. You can connect with us on our Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter handles to get regular updates regarding our new episodes. And without further ado, let's start with your show.
With the constantly evolving business and market requirements, we have entered an age of digital transformation, and the need for holistic digital experiences is at its peak. Positive customer experiences can ensure customer loyalty and brand recall and provide a competitive edge in the market. But keeping up with the changing market while maintaining the competitive advantage and a consistent user experience is difficult. So, how can designers craft innovative customer experiences that can lead to an increase in market share? To learn more about this concept and many more related topics, we bring you someone with over 2 decades of experience in digital transformation, product design, and user experience, and currently working as Chief Digital Officer, Consumer Business at Adani Group, Mr. Nitin Sethi. With a diversified portfolio including e commerce, real estate, education, travel, finance, and more, he holds expertise in user experience design, design strategy, information architecture, interaction design, and much more. And that's why, on our journey of discovering designeering, we talk to him about designing for growth and goodness. Hello, Nitin. Welcome to MIT Designeering Series. It's an honor and pleasure for us to host you on our show today.
Thanks, Rohit. It's my pleasure to be here.
So, Nitin, as an ice breaking question, the big job of a designer is to find fresh ideas to explore constantly. They spend days searching out for new ideas that meet the needs of users. However, they don't realize that ideas are not going to pop up like magic. I mean, it needs some very specific conditions. The question that I have for you, Nitin, to set the context of our conversation today is how can designers change their approach towards new ideas and recognize them when they show up on their own?
Thanks for asking this, Rohit. This actually helps even getting me clarity what I needed time to time. Uh, Designers are craftsmen. Designers are storytellers. Designers are platform creators. I keep saying this time to time that design thinking is an iterative process, and people need to understand that they are not the customers. The customer is outside. Designer needs to go out, understand the market needs, competition, actual user scenarios, and personas to come up with the right solutioning. At times we go on another path and say, hey, we have a great solution, and let's implement it. That's the worst way you can go about it. It's not about technology. It's about the simplicity. It's about the design. It's about the experience. About what you can do as a value add for the end customer, and hence the business value is created and your business have a competitive edge over the competition. But is the design leader which is going to make all the efforts, and the efforts needs to be very uh, you know effort needs to be done on a ground level and as a continuous process, can't be done in isolation.
Bob, interesting and well said, Nitin. In fact, that sets context for our conversation here. Nitin, while talking about your journey, having a work experience of more than 2 decades in digital transformation, product design, and user experience, you have a diversified portfolio that includes e-commerce, real estate, telecom, edtech, and so much more. Did you plan your career roadmap or went with the flow? And could you take us through your professional journey? It's It's so exciting with multiple domains that you have an experience around.
So Rohit, to be very very honest, I was very very lucky. I got so lucky, I can tell you. At times I envy myself. so I started at a year 2000 when internet was just, you know, was a young baby. I've seen three generations of internet properties and platforms, starting from Bharti Airtel to India Times, when India Times was the platform, becoming part of Rediff, which got listed on Nasdaq. Uh, Working on my first startup with just one thing called Mega Software, and seeing exit, and spent 8.5 years with InfoEdge. And when I joined InfoEdge only one site called Naukri.com. That also was a 5 page static website. From there, to create Naukri, 99 acre, Jeevan Sathi, Shiksha, Naukri Girl, First Naukri, part of the centralized team, part of the brainstorming core team. I think I've learned a lot in that journey. And then the Policy Bazaar, Zomato, Meditation, these startup got invested by InfoEdge, and we saw the thought process changing from the horizontal portals to verticalization, specialized market segment. Then Yatra IPO journey was fascinating. Yatra, Travel Guru, Buzz in Town, Holidays India. We integrated the platform from outsourcing to insourcing. I have established the product design and UX team for OTA, and OTA was a very very competitive market. Goa Bibo got acquired by MMT. Yatra got public. That's, you can say, a worthy reward for the stint. And then most fascinating journey of my career, Quicker, happened. I joined Quicker when Quicker at a stage where either we could have got acquired by Common Floor or other way around. Ultimately, that risky but pays off, and we acquired Common Floor, HDFC Red, Hyrie, Baba Jobs, and 12 more startups. In my journey from 500 million consumers to 1 billion valuation is something what we reached. And Indigo happened post that. I have established 60 Digital for Indigo. Being part of India's youngest, coolest, and sexiest airline was fantastic. I worked there as an entrepreneur, built the team, $1 of investment and $10 of return. It was fascinating. We became the only airline in India and the world to gain the market share in the COVID time. We grew by 10%. Our cargo revenues grew from 3% to 25%, despite we didn't had any cargo planes. Our cross sell, upsell. So there are so many customer value addition and the business outcome which I witnessed. And Indigo made me a very shrewd uh, design leader, and shrewd in a funny way. And now with becoming founding leader for Adani Digital Labs, I'm chief digital officer of Adani Group now. uh, on the consumer business side, my job is to create an integrated platform for the group: Adani Airports, Adani Gas, Adani Electricity, Adani Capital, Adani Wilmar, and Adani Reality. We touch upon close to 400 450 million consumers. Our aim and idea and aspiration is to create a worthy platform for 1 billion people. That means every Indian with a mobile phone is something which we are targeting. And I'm telling you, promising you on this platform that we will pull it off. And we are creating Adani Digital Labs in Gurgaon. The team of 300 people will be centralized digital transformation team for the group. I've already onboarded close to 80 plus people, and it's a roller coaster journey so far. Uh, I think I have a dream to create a legacy where the world will know that India is known for the best platform and just not the tech talent.
Wow, that is so exciting, Nitin. I mean, in middle of all of this exciting journey of setting up these multiple verticals, I wish to ask you one question. Which of these areas excited you the most? The domains, I wouldn't want to say companies, but a domain, whether e-commerce excited you the most, real estate, telecom, edtech, FMCG, if I was to say, with Adani, or the airlines industry. Which one was most exciting and close to your heart as a designer?
So, Rohit, again, you're asking something which is very close to my heart, and it'll be unfair for me to say that I like a one company over other, because so far in my life I chose brands very smartly and after a lot of thought. None happened without my willingness, and I stayed at a company till the time my learning happening, and I was enjoying. I actually get paid to have fun. I don't take. I really love what I do. It's not about me not enjoying a segment and being there. Nobody's a tree, right? You can always change if you really not enjoying. But to me, the three V's of my life: video, voice, and vernacular, which is very relevant in the present context. Uh, the commerce, the important C is customer empathy, customer centricity, customer self service. Were the three very important C's where I chose my you know employers and the brands I work with. So I think the Yatra's journey of the travel, and travel is something which is very close to my heart. And if you look at it, whether it's Adani Airports, Indigo, uh, Yatra, the travel is constant. I like direct to D2C, B2C platforms, and I chose to craft and create those platforms, and especially chose the companies where I can lead from front. I don't like to be in second in command. I like to bring the change. I like to craft the change. It's heated. It takes a lot. It's take a toll on your personal life at times. But I think one can always make a life better if you know how to make 48 hours out of 24 hours, and that's what we designer do the best. To be in black and white zone, I think from InfoEdge, I really loved my Naukri experience. At India Times, we sold refrigerators, washing machines, and big electronic items through Telio price through auctions. Uh, Bharti Airtel Telecom, is communication. So I think transforming lives is a common theme, and experience layer is what I choose. I don't actually like uh, play or play vanilla B2B. I like experience a layer more on the customer facing, and the idea is to create an experience layer more worthy that all the B2B businesses also become D2C and B2C segment. The award.
Hey, did you know Adani Digital Labs, the youngest arm of Adani Group, will soon launch a super app which will pave the way for digital transactions in a unified platform. It aims to onboard every consumer on the proposed digital platform. This comes at a time when, across all the group companies, consumers are growing at 15%. So, moving further, Nitin, Adani Group is an Indian multinational company having groups of diverse businesses. You lead and enable digital transformation, customer centric design thinking, customer empathy, technology roadmap, and unified thinking of the group's consumer businesses. The question that I have for you, Nitin, is how do you optimize your team dynamic and collaboration while working with team members from different disciplines, having diversity in background and perspectives?
So, Rohit, it's a fascinating question. It's a question which every leader should have a clarity on, and I think I've understood after making a lot of mistakes in my career that it's not about I, it's about we. It's not about I leading from the front. It's about I leading from the back, and I create successors. I'm an enabler. I think social success plays a huge role, and when I say social success, it's not about outside inside. It's about inside out. The other stakeholder, the other team members, needs to feel that is their project. It's not your project. It's not one guy succeeding. It's about customer succeeding. He's the only guy in the boardroom who's not there. My job is to represent that customer. My job is to simplify experiences for him. And that's what I enable for my team. The guidance, the acceptance, the opportunity when they fail, not judging them, and also tell them that I have their back. Because if people work, there will be mistakes. If you don't work, there is no mistake. So embracing the failure is one element. I think I personally feel is very very important in making things better, because nobody knows that uh, the outcome of one particular track will be very positive. Nobody knows that something which has worked for one segment 5 years back will work exactly the same way in today, because market has changed. COVID has really really changed certain things, and now people have adapted. Technology is disrupting most of the things. Product and streams getting obsolete. So if you don't collaborate, if you don't work as one common team, you will not succeed. It's about social success. Life is all about people, nothing else. It's about creating more and more leaders. It's about succeeding them, and not about becoming face of the group. I think that's I've learned hard way. I always felt that it's about me, but lately it lasts 8-10 years. The second half of my professional journey, I got more wiser after failing multiple times.
Wow, Nitin, absolutely well said. And the beautiful aspect about this conversation is the humbleness, the honest inputs coming from your end of how the journey has shaped you as a leader. So hats off on that. And while Nitin, we've been spending time on talking about your journey, let's move on to talk about what's happening in the world of design. In a constantly progressing world, it is increasingly difficult to have a long term goal or vision. As you rightly said just a few minutes ago, of how COVID, how technology is disrupted the times right now. When we can get quick and instant results out of everything, we think twice before investing in an uncertain future. Do you think it's essential to have a long term vision of our products while designing them? And how can designers create designs that are vision driven, keeping the long term view in focus as well, Nathan?
So I'm moved by what you're asking me. I'm actually touched by the depth and the humility of the questions you are asking me. You are actually making me a better leader while I'm speaking to you. And let me try to do justice to what you have just asked. See, a lot of us and many leaders think they are visionaries. A lot of us think that we know what is coming ahead of us. But to be honest, nobody knows. We all learn. We all change with time. What matters is we try on the ground. We try for the customer. Iterative design thinking is the way forward. When we talk about disruption, no disruption happened overnight, boss. Things don't change overnight. It's a continuous process. From fuel driven cars to now EVs, we know that it will get changed in next 5 to 7 years, and change is coming much faster than what we are imagining. The AR VR, the gesture driven, the glass driven interfaces going to emerge. We know that a lot of physical interfaces will get disrupted. We know that in travel, Digi is going to change the way Aadhaar and the COVID and some of these applications. All the government, if government can change this much, and hats off to Mr. Modi and leadership, there is so much which has happened in this on the digital transformation. Everything on the core system is and can get done through a smart application. right? Starting from your COVID dose to Aadhaar card to banking to your license, you name it, and it's done. But a lot of our traditional businesses have still been traditionally thought. Traditional business and traditional thoughts. That's risky, right? So designers needs to have balls of steel. And pardon me for my words, but I'm not sorry. We are the torch uh, runners. We need to make sure that we ask the right questions, we ask the tough questions, and we give opportunity for the leaders to accept that something is not right, and we need to get, change it together. It can only happen if we are forward looking. It can only happen if we are futuristic. But it can also only happen if we learn with time, if we collaborate. Reading books is great, but meeting people is greatest. Usability testing and A/B testing is great, but talking to a customer on the field is amazing, right? So we need to get out from our comfort zone and say, boss, if I'm designing something for Guwahati market, then I need to first visit. If I'm designing for airport and I don't know how the system works, I'll never be able to design it. It's not about a mock-up. It's not about making it look good. And I'm not going to give you a phrase from a favorite Jacob Nielsen or a big author to make me look good here. It's about you. It's about whether you are aligned and you are open to learn with it. Because you don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. But together we can try and we will achieve that mission or vision. Aligning to vision is important. But what is that vision? Vision can't be that I will make uh, 10 unicorns and I will make 5 billions out of this idea. The mission has to be that I will touch, simplify 500 million Indians in next 5 years. That's a mission worth living for.
Absolutely, Nitin. Well said and brilliantly put in terms of creating for the next billion, as we've all been talking about. In fact, while continuing on our conversation on the design vertical, introduction of customer experience in the aviation industry has been a game-changing strategy. However, considering the complexity of the system and the number of stakeholders involved, creating a holistic customer experience will not be an easy task. The question that I have for you is, how can user experience designers provide a holistic customer experience when the customer expectation is constantly changing?
Yeah, so you are right. Customer expectations are all time exceeding. It's a aviation is a very regulated business. There are at one point of time at least there are 20 agencies and companies involved to make one traveler from fly from A to B. At least he goes through 30 to 40 people and touch points. It's a very complex grid. Okay, and uh, there are rules and processes which we need to adhere to, which we need to follow as responsible brands. Now, to simplify experiences and make it touchless, make it worthy, make it memorable, can only happen if you like big challenges and if you like to again collaborate with the ecosystem. And it's not about only XYZ brand. Adani Airports, Indigo Airlines, government's Digi Yatra, DGCA, the cab operator, the duty free person, the food guy, the lounge guy, right? The currency, the gate, bag info, the wheelchair, the porter. If you see, for one journey, there are 15 parties. For a one seamless unified experience, There are 15 touch points. How you'll make sure that everything is seamless, everything is memorable by the customer? It can only happen if you work on the ecosystem. If the intention as a design leader is about creating a legacy, giving back, and not about taking it away. If you're selling an insurance, your job is to make sure that there is no ambiguity. If you're selling a seat, you need to tell him the difference between aisle and window, right? Right now, middle seats are the cheapest seats, but the hassle of wearing a gown and extra layer is cumbersome. Now nobody telling you that. So there are so many experiences which needs to be improved. Right now nobody tells you the gate and the baggage information on your app. Can we do it? Yes. Can one player do it? No. It's a responsibility. Experience improvement, quality improvement, lifestyle improvement is about to the ecosystem. And I think with public private partnership, these things are improving. Digi Yatra has been a fascinating program by the government. Now airports are participating, airlines are participating, and ultimately customer will get benefited. Most worthy programs are the programs which makes customer life easy, right? Having a dedicated cab zone, having a dedicated terminal for domestic versus international, having a great infrastructure for the people who are coming to drop their loved ones or pick their loved ones. So arrow and non-arrow revenues, right? And experiences. Now Bangalore in India, only few airports have done it very well, but there are opportunities lying for all the other players. And I think Adani being a forefront of the airport experiences, we will play a critical role in making this ecosystem better for our partners, for our businesses, for our customers. Absolutely, hell yeah.
Wow, absolutely well said. And we see this in fact in the last couple of years, and even during the pandemic, all these industries and the way we've also looked at customer satisfaction and customer experiences within Indian business units has dynamically also changed. And while continuing that thread, Nitin, to gain a competitive advantage also in the market, companies often strive to be perceived by their customers as customer centric. Its core philosophy is to empower every individual in the organization to focus directly on the customer. Can you tell us about some of the factors driving customer centric innovation that will help user experience designers to make smart decisions?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you touched upon two parts to it. The coin has both the sides. Uh, I'll start with one. The designers, the design leaders, the craftsmen, they need empowerment. You can only add value if you are empowered. You can only add value if the ample opportunities are in front of you to contribute, right? So an empowerment is a top down approach. If as an organization you don't have a digital first DNA or a mindset, then you will never approve something. You'll never take a chance on something. I think that's one. So changing the DNA from business centric traditional mindset to digital first and futuristic is absolutely core, and most of the organization are going through this change. Luckily we are at a very good decade. 2020 to 2030 is a decade of design thinking and digital first. I'm very lucky to live in this era. The second part to it is about value creation, is what you said about how can designers contribute in a way, and how employees are doing it. Happiness is inside outside. If you are awakened, happy, moved employee, then only you will make your customers happy. I've learned that at Indigo. On time, hassle free, affordable fares, great network. You ask our porter, you ask our sales executive, air hostess, CEO, or top leader, everybody will say this. Now at Adani, it's even taken to the another level. We are saying that growth with goodness, countrymen, company employees, and then you, right? So you have four layers of responsibility whenever you're taking one initiative. Every initiative will have a customer delight and business outcome. See, design thinking is for everybody. It's not only for designers. You break the design thinking into two parts: design and thinking. Thinking about design. What are you selling? You're selling an experience these days. Nobody is buying product or service. Everybody's selling an experience. You choose a coffee, one versus other, basis the experience, because both brands are selling coffee. You're selling an e-commerce platform, F versus A, is because of better customer service. And it doesn't take much to fix your fundamentals. But if you empower the right leaders, and I think design leaders have a lot of responsibility, because customer is not going to experience your technology and decide. Customer is going to interact, and just not on good cases, bad cases, cases which have not worked upon, cases which you don't, which are not in your hand. A flight getting cancelled because of weather, nobody is having a control on that. But what you do after that is in your control. You give him a choice to either get his refund or get a rescheduled on the next flight. Indigo's plan B, fabulous. We have done it. Our design leader has done it. I'm very proud of that. At airport, we will make sure that we create a differentiation. You will choose Adani airports over any other airport. We will create that warmth. And we are going to create that warmth. That's what the design thinking enables. But I'm able to do it, and I will be able to do it only if I'm empowered. And here I am. So next time you're flying from Adani airports, please feel free to send a feedback or a warm line.
Hey, did you know Garv Hai, an initiative by Adani Group, is a national initiative seeking to identify and develop world class athletes from low income communities. This program will choose 15 plus athletes from 5,000 applicants from 29 states and 100 locations throughout India. These athletes will be groomed for the Olympics, Commonwealth Games, and other sporting initiatives as a part of this long term incubation initiative. Absolutely, Nitin. Well said. And while we continue our conversation, let's talk about blending technology here. Digital transformation are not just about investments in technology, but in the right technology. With technology evolving daily, Nitin, businesses are under pressure to adapt to the new changes and update their business operations accordingly. The question that I have for you is, how can businesses select the right technology that aligns with their value propositions and the digital transformation strategy?
So, Rohit, it's very important to understand that there are three important T's in this. So, talent, which makes the right team, which propose the right technology, right? And in this way, it needs to be done. So you need to have a subject matter experts who can take the right call. You can't do everything on your own, so you need to enable the ecosystem and get right strategic partners who work with you for a long term. You can't choose a startup which will get acquired tomorrow and your competitor getting all the data. You also need to make sure that you choose something where the customer privacy and the data security is very well sure, because most recent times I think that's a very vulnerable area. So it's it's brand's job, it's our job as leaders to make sure that we select right technologies, and not for our personal interest but for a greater good. And when you choose the partners, you choose the partners who have the same DNA of customer affection and delight, and not only about they're serving you for the dollar value. I think I've learned in my, especially last 8 10 years, that the ecosystem is changing very fast, and it's a very competitive world. There are always five players for a similar type of tools. There will be always five segments where you can go and either do this on your own, or you try and partner it with somebody. Yeah. And not always you'll be in a right position or having skills to take that informed decision. So you continue to invest in your people, processes, and even partners. There is no easy answer to this, Rohit, to be honest. Right? It's a team play. Maybe you are hitting well, but your partner will get you run out. You are out. Right? So that's how the right partner is very important. Okay, it's not a dating, it's a marriage. It's not about one day, it's about the full inning. So it's a marathon. And successful companies are those who chose the right partners. We have Total Gas, we have Fortune Wilmar, and we'll have many more. uh, Google, Flipkart, Microsoft are strategic partners. We work with best of the best brands. We attract best of the best talent, and we don't shy away from uh, uh, putting the money behind for the right customer experiences. I think that's brand's responsibility to craft and shape the customer experience the way it's been desired, and uh, should be there, right? So there is no gray areas there. Has to be there, should be there. It's one India, right? It's all our responsibility to make India stand out on the map and say, boss, India products and services are path breaking.
Absolutely, Nitin. And while we would have loved to continue the conversation, but due to the paucity of time, I come to my last question, Nitin. At MIT Group of Institutions, we've coined the term designeering, a unique combination of design and engineering. The question that I have for you there is, does this concept blend in your field, and could this concept help young designers achieve something exceptional? Do you think it's a relevant philosophy to train designers on?
Uh, Absolutely, I can't be more happy. I envy you because you invented this, and I would have loved to be part of your institute and the group if I would have been more young. Though I'm only 20 twice, but nevertheless, I think it's a right mindset. It's about being an all rounder. It's about uh, being aware. Uh, Consistency is not easy to crack. It can only happen if you know your subject. It's very very relevant, and I think if a person or a professional having both these skills, uh, you are creating a better man force. No doubt about it. Totally second what you're saying, and this thought is so interesting. I'm only visualizing and liking what I can see. I'm a design thinker, so I can visualize very well.
This was an amazing conversation with you, Nitin. Thank you so much for joining us on our show. I'm sure that our listeners are going to enjoy this conversation and have a lot of take home from this podcast.
Thank you, Rohit. Delighted and very lucky to be part of this journey, and I really enjoy it. I try to be very candid and honest, uh, and looking forward. The moment you have this amazing all-rounder talent, we would love to have few of them coming and take the design thinking to the next level at Adani Group. And please feel free to reach out, and already saying thanks to all the listeners who will give me time of their life, uh, because you can't minus this time. It's been given, so I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hello, Amir. Welcome again to MIT Designeering series. And continuing our conversation today, we would like you to share some of the work that you've executed for your clients till date. How has it been? What were the kind of challenges that they had, and how did you create unique solutions to go out and address their problems?
Okay, so I'll share two projects here. The first project was about designing packaging for puffed snacks, which was very popular in the local market but were sold in clear plastic bag with a sticker on it. The client approached us to design the whole series of snacks under one brand. They wanted to design packaging for their products, keeping in mind the cost and the target audience, since it was very popular among senior citizens. The product was very easy to pick among other puffed snacks, so we decided to keep the packaging half visible where it is easy for the user to buy after looking at the inside snacks. Another thing was it should not look expensive because the product itself was very pocket friendly. So we decided to use fewer colors and content talking directly about the product. Overall, final packaging was more refreshing, minimal, clearly visible, and most importantly, it was talking about the ingredient and the benefits through some of the visuals and typos. Though there is a huge competition in snack items, you have to make sure your product gets the desired attention. Second project I would like to discuss is about the leather product brand, which offers leather belts, wallets, and purses. The client wanted to launch their brand on a bigger platform where they were exporting their products to few other countries. Since it was an accessories brand, identity should highlight the qualities of the product. We decided to go with wordmark logo instead of an icon based logo. The challenge was to cover the whole series of products under a single brand identity, which we incorporated through 3D buckle, embossing, and other techniques. This resulted in shaping the brand identity in more flexible ways. It came out stylish, durable, and attractive, creating a minimal but durable brand identity for the brand which also shares the same philosophy when it comes to their product.
Wow, Amir, this is really interesting and insightful, and I'm sure that this would have created a lot of impact for your customers. Thank you so much again for joining us, and we will continue the conversation with you on our next episode. Stay tuned.
Hey there, thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed our show. Do write to us at mds@mit.edu.in. We look forward to your opinions, feedbacks, and suggestions of speakers you would like us to host on this show. You can also connect with us on our Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter handles to get regular updates regarding new episodes and speakers. Do tune in to our channel next Wednesday for a new story on your favorite audio streaming platforms.